Winter, here come the good times.
Kawasaki lets the good times roll. It's the hottest thing that's on the snow. Come on, chum, punch your thumb. It's a lot of fun. Let the good times roll.
Meet the all-new Kawasaki 440 Invader. Liquid-cooled, oil-injected, and the hottest thing on snow.
Kawasaki lets the good times roll.
When you really get down to it, there's just one good reason to ride a snowmobile, to have a rollicking good time on snow. And nobody makes the good times happen like Kawasaki. Kawasaki got the good times rolling with some pretty remarkable motorcycles. So quick they win world championships. So dependable they hold world records for endurance. And the genius of Kawasaki engineering even put the good times on water with the amazing jet ski. So you see, Kawasaki snowmobiles come from a long line of good time machines. And they are putting the good times on snow.
Kawasaki puts the good times on snow.
Boy, looks like a great day. I've got the perfect sled to enjoy it with, too. My Kawasaki LTD. I think I'll take a little spin before my boy wakes up. Everybody gets his kicks one way or another. I get mine on a snowmobile. I've been riding for, more years than I care to admit. So I demand more from a sled than most people. I demand power and reliability from the engine. The liquid-cooled 440cc engine in the LTD has both, and a world record for combined speed and endurance to prove it. I demand excellent handling from a sled, and the LTD gives it. Quick, crisp steering response and an excellent suspension make the LTD as nimble and willing as a mountain goat. Kawasaki put a suspension in this baby you have to feel to appreciate. It's called Very Ride, spelled with an A, and it's very smooth. Oh, yeah. The LTD puts it all together. Performance, style, comfort, and reliability. That's what I call a first-class riding machine.
Honey, your helmet.
Poor kid thought I left him behind. I'll never hear the end of that.
It's a family affair. When the snow's up to there, take your kids for a ride. Don't let the good times slide. Don't let the good times slide. It's a Kawasaki, you know. We put the good times on snow.
The two sleds my friends Ted and Alice own are great low-priced family sleds, the Kawasaki Drifters. Ted is on the Drifter 440. It's got a tough, fan-cooled 440cc engine. This lightweight and sturdy drifter takes to deep snow like a jackrabbit to clover. Like all the Kawasaki's, it's built right here in the good old US of A, Lincoln, Nebraska to be precise. Alice is on the Drifter 340. This baby has a lot of spirit, and it's easy to handle. If you want a hardy little sled with lots of spunk, the Drifter 340 is a good choice. Both drifters have that outstanding high-quality Kawasaki engineering. Oil injection is a standard feature. And I've heard they've got a new and improved Kawasaki drive clutch, too. Maybe when my boy's old enough, I'll start him out on a Kawasaki drifter. Well, there's my old buddy Harvey and his boy. So that's the new sled Harvey's been bragging all over the county about, huh? I've got to see this machine up close and personal. The Kawasaki Intruder. More standard equipment than just about any sled I know of. Like this electric starting. Maybe I ought to put that on my LTD. The seat's comfy. And Harv says it's got a new track design. Let's see it run, Harv. Looks like Harv got a good buy in that sled. It's got Kawasaki's Very Ride suspension, and that's the best in the business. A reliable fan-cooled engine, comfort, style. I think I just have to approve of that sled, Harv. Well, it looks like my brother Bob finally found the sled of his dreams. This is the sled that set the world 24-hour speed and endurance record, the Kawasaki Invader. Only one sled has managed to break that record, the Kawasaki LTD. The neat thing about the Invader is that it handles so well, and it's so comfortable. You can get in a full day's riding without feeling whipped when the day is done. The Invader. 440 cc's of liquid-cooled rage. The perfect sled for a hotshot like my kid brother. Looks like Bob is plumb tickled with his sled. It wasn't too long ago he told me he couldn't get a thrill out of snowmobiles like he used to. Now look at him. If you want to get back to the good times of snowmobiling, get on a Kawasaki. You know, we enjoy the winter in our special way, and so do a lot of other people in their own way. If we respect each other and the environment, there'll always be plenty of room in the great outdoors for all of us. Uh-oh. Looks like snow's coming in.
I think it's about time for a hot toddy. All right!
Kawasaki snowmobiles are built to get the most out of your good times. There are 5 great sleds to choose from. One of them is just right for your style of riding. So pick out a Kawasaki and head for the snow. Kawasaki, for good times on snow.
It's a family affair. When the snow's up to there, take your kids for a ride. Take your kids for a ride. Don't let the good times slide. Don't let the good times slide. It's a Kawasaki, you know. We put the good times on snow. It's a Kawasaki, you know. It's a Kawasaki, you know. It's a Kawasaki, you know. We put the good times on snow.
This winter, there'll be tons of snow from me. Plus, when you buy any 1980 Kawasaki Invader 340 or Drifter 440, your Kawasaki dealer will give you this Magic Chef microwave oven absolutely free. Why a microwave oven? To save time cooking indoors so you can spend more time cooking outdoors. Ha ha!
Cook up a good time at your participating Kawasaki dealer.
Ice. 1.5 feet thick. 1 mile long. A cold, hard challenge for men and machines. Scarborough Downs Racetrack, Portland, Maine. About to be invaded by a team gunning for a world record. The team is armed for the assault on the record with Kawasaki's latest entry in the world of speed and endurance, Invader 440s. At 10 a.m., February 1st, 1978, the plan goes into operation. The mission? To race these bullet-fast sleds for 24 hours, and in the process, go farther than any team in history. The machines are prepped and the track is groomed. Ron Sluka, the project organizer, assembles the mechanics and drivers for a final briefing.
To explain to you that these pylons here are the ones that you'll come into the pit on later today. Any mechanical work will be done in front here. Gas stops will be down over there.
The team is a cross-section of American and Canadian snowmobile enthusiasts, professional racers, test drivers, magazine writers, distributors, and executives united in an effort to set a world standard for snowmobile speed and endurance. They will drive for 24 hours in shifts of 1 hour per driver, with 5 drivers for each of the 2 sleds. A new record is the goal, but not at the expense of life and limb. Ron lays down firm guidelines for driver safety.
There's some bad snow banks out there. We tried to cut them down. We worked on them this morning, but it still isn't perfect. But we hope it's good enough. It's warm out. We'll get enough ice chipped up, so it'll be good for later tonight.
Jim Weckman, who will head pit crew operations, reviews the support strategy with the team.
Tether with him so that let's try and keep to the schedule so that we don't have tethers missing. So when we're ready to go, each driver has got his tether with him. He can get right on the sled and go for it.
At 1:28 p.m., Carlin Elgin and Jack Taylor take the sleds to the track for practice laps. Each rider is granted 3 laps to test the machines and track conditions. The verdict comes in. The monster oval track is a tough challenge for a world record, and the hottest sled on snow is even quicker on ice. With the practice laps logged, the team makes a final examination of the sleds. In strict compliance with United States Snowmobile Association rules, each sled is a stock factory machine. The 2 modifications permitted are looped racing handlebars and carbide-tipped metal studs on the drive track for safe traction on the slick ice. The sleds check out to everyone's satisfaction. As race time nears, the riders don their armor for the coming night's work. At 3 p.m., February 1st, 1978, the sleds are brought to the starting line, and officials of the Snowmobile Association signal the start of the grueling marathon. The gauntlet is thrown. For the next 24 hours, the Invader team will attempt to cover more distance than any sled in history. Individual riding styles quickly surface as each driver struggles to unravel the slick iced oval of Scarborough Downs. A steady, consistent pace is established, and first leg drivers Ian Corbett and Bob Rauch knuckle down for an hour of cutting ice. Under the watchful eye of U.S. Snowmobile Association racing directors, volunteers in the observation booth keep records of lap times, pit stops, and miles covered.
343. Right. 101, 102, 3, 4, 5.
Same thing
6.
again. 5.
105. 343.
Well, geez, they're pretty consistent, I'll tell you that much, Bob.
Yeah, they're averaging,
Yeah.
they're averaging out well.
Yep.
As the afternoon wears on, the sleds easily maintain a record pace, while the temperature drops to near zero and keeps dropping. But for a few moments, drivers Dave Ricklock and Dave Corbett revel in the joy of hot sleds on cold ice under a flaming New England sky. In the early evening, the sleds begin to lose traction and speed. During a fuel stop, sled number 1 gets a quick examination by riders and crew. They discover the hard ice surface is dulling the edge of the carbide metal ski runners and ripping the carbide studs off the drive track. They face the unwelcome task of replacing the drive tracks at regular intervals, a time-consuming process that threatens to slash miles off the record attempt.
Oil's good.
What?
That's
So if you put carbide on, I think it'd be worse. If I'm over 65, pull me in, we'll put a cross on it. Okay. You're on the outside?
With night comes a new hazard, poor visibility, as the riders move in and out of glaring patches of artificial light and pools of darkness. The drivers find themselves flying blind as they round corner 1 and plunge into the treacherous backstretch. But they persist out of sheer stubbornness and desire, and the laps continue to roll by. Until finally, the drive track and ski changes must be made in order to gain that essential traction on the ice.
Oh, we gotta change the left ski, the carbide is broken. Down here. Springs off, Dave.
The sub-zero temperature adds another problem. The pneumatic tools freeze up, forcing the crew to waste precious time in fastening nuts and bolts with cold, numbed hands. 18 minutes after entering the pit, the sled winds into the night. But the time is well spent. With fresh studs, the sleds master the slick ice, and the drivers push through the night in a desperate attempt to make up the lost time. The team shovels snow onto the track throughout the night to gain an added measure of traction. In the blackest hours of the night, the temperature drops under 10 degrees below zero, boosting the wind chill factor on the drivers to 69 degrees below. With arms and legs chilled to the bone, their lap times get worse. Another major decision is made. Cut the driving time from 1 hour to 1/2 hour per driver. The word goes out. and Mike Vaughn comes out of the cold. In the last hour before dawn, Ron monitors speeds by radar and realizes that now the record attempt is in serious danger of failure. He knows the team must rally with the sunrise and push themselves and their machines past their known limits or see their hopes for a world record vanish. But the determination never falters and the laps continue to unroll. Dawn, and the final bid for the record begins. With defeat staring them in the face, each team member fights off fatigue and puts his heart and soul into the effort. The light of day reveals the toll Scarborough Downs has demanded. The standard rubber drive tracks are intact, but the added carbide-tipped studs have been chewed off by the hard surface of the icy oval. The crew attacks each new pit stop with increased frenzy, and they manage to cut track changes to a scant 8 minutes, a job that normally takes 1.5 hours.
Is it on?
Feeling good, tight. Yeah, it's on.
All right. Tie rod. Do the tie rod. All right.
Put down.
Nope.
Nope.
In a last attempt to put a layer of snow on the ice, snow blowers are brought to the track and manned by the team. But in the end, it's the driver's ability and the sled's endurance that must capture the record. As the day wears on, the lap times improve dramatically. Top speeds hit 90 miles an hour and more. Driver Bob Ricklock turns in a lap time of 51.2 seconds, an average speed of 70.5 miles per hour, the fastest yet. The team is infused with fresh vitality, and an incredible dance of speed, skill, and daring ensues. Finally, at 2:12 p.m., the old record falls to the invaders. With 48 minutes still to go in the 24-hour time span, the race becomes a cakewalk as the jubilant team puts the icing on a new world record. p.m., February 2nd, 1978. 24 hours and 1,218 miles after it left the starting line, sled number 1 captures a checkered flag and a new world record for speed and endurance. Incredibly, sled number 2 is only 8 laps behind after 24 hours. The celebration is just starting, but one more task remains before the party gets serious. Sled number 1 is disassembled under the scrutiny of race officials to prove that it is indeed a stock factory machine. It is. And other than the tracks and ski runners, only 2 parts were replaced during the 24 hours. 1 ski bushing and 1 drive belt. Under the kind mothering of Cecil Baker, not 1 component of the engines failed. Not even a single spark plug. The Kawasaki Invaders proved in the end to be more than a match for 24 hours at Scarborough Downs.
Marker, a little more on him, Bob. All right.
Hi there, friends and neighbors. I'm Old Man Winter. I have miracle healing powers. I can make it snow, hit it, Eddie, and I can make it stop. Isn't that fun? I'm here to push these Japanese products here at you. Watch this. Shazam! Woo! I did it. I used to just settle for telling people to say baby. This is a lot more fun. Shazam! Alto! I'm sorry I goofed up last winter and didn't give you any snow, but I went down to Miami with Mother Nature and did some real intensive backsliding. Oh, she was wonderful. You like these mitts? I stuck one up Polar Bear's ass one time, and he just sailed right over the top of one of them icebergs. If these Japs can sell you these slow-moving vehicles here that chop up our environment out there, God's beautiful trees and saplings, then they'll give you one of these free microwave ovens over here that they're pushing, which will sterilize America. But if you are sterilized, sir or madam, just place your gonads in my healing mitts here, and I'll just go Shazam! And you can just screw your brains out. Thank you very much. This was brought to you by wonderful people and by their products. Bye. Hit it. Hit it, Bobby. Oh, give me a big finish. Come on, Bobby, hit it. More, Bobby, more. Come on, Bobby. Come on, mother. Come on. Sometimes the healing power works and sometimes it doesn't. There we go. Shazam. Oh, my God. Oh.
Now there's a snowmobile that deep snow can't sink. Kawasaki's new Drifter, with a special chassis that bites deep as snow can get to give you trailblazing performance. Kawasaki Drifter's an awful lot of snowmobile for not an awful lot of money. Kawasaki Drifter. See it at your Kawasaki dealer.
Kawasaki lets the good times roll. Let's the good times roll.
This is the snowmobile that stopped the snowmobile industry dead in its tracks last year. It's the Kawasaki 440 Invader, the hottest thing on snow. The Kawasaki 440 Invader is so fast, you might want to consider a few options.
Kawasaki lets the good times roll.
The 1980 Kawasaki Invader. Nothing much stays with it except another Kawasaki Invader.
Kawasaki lets the good times roll.
Kawasaki, the hottest thing on snow.